Again. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Mind Body Blend, where we take a fusion of some Tai Chi style movements to warm up. We blend that with ballet bar, and I have a small chair to use for a little bit of balance, as if you had a ballet bar to hold on to. We have hand weights, and mostly on the light side today. We're going to be focusing on some smaller muscle groups. I have 3s and 5s that I'm going to switch back and forth between. You'll have your mat, maybe a little bit of cushioning for your knees. And this month we're focusing on connecting with the powerhouse. And a lot of this I pull from Foundations of Pilates. So what I want you to think about today is the powerhouse, or your core, both the front side, the back side, as well as the sides of your core, how they connect to your pelvis. So the pelvis, great big bony structure here that supports our body. And if we lose control of our core on the front side, back side, or right and left side, our pelvis will move, and it will either move forward or backward, and these are called anterior tilt and posterior tilt. So what happens if we tilt anteriorly, you can see my butt just set back, and I really put a lot of pressure on my lower back here, and I'm pinching those vertebrae. If I tilt my pelvis posteriorly, then I'm causing a caving in of the front of the spine and pinching the vertebrae there. So with all the movements, I want you to think about bracing your pelvis and not letting any of this tipping forward or back happen, or side to side rocking, unless I specifically cue that in the exercises. All right, so that's how we'll connect today with the powerhouse. Let's begin with our Tai Chi warm up. Coming onto your mat, your space is nice and clear. And the feet are a little wider than hips distance into our wide Wu Chi. Soften your knees into a small knee bend, not too deeply, but there is softening through the knees. And we'll take the right arm and sweep it across the body and open. And down and across and open. And you're going at your own pace today with LisaBug classes, doing what feels good for your body, making any adjustments that you need to make for injuries or for a little bit of sore areas in your body today. This is your last one. Release that down. Now take the left arm, come across the body, open out, and float down. Cross. So our Tai Chi warm-up is really designed, of course, to warm up our joints, but to focus on balance and posture and our breathing, and just to bring our mind and body together, to center. Good. One more this side. Now if we put it together, we come across, and as this one's coming down, the other one comes across. So I'm opening out the right as the left is coming underneath and across. Now start to add your lower body with this. So as the left hand comes across, you bend that left knee. As the right hand comes across, bend the right knee. Start to focus on the powerhouse, so connecting with your core. So even though you're moving your arms and your legs, you're not moving your pelvis. Staying really neutral. Now you can stay here with the arms lower than the shoulders, or make an adjustment to take the arm higher instead of across the body. So the arm goes in front and up. Nice and graceful with the arms. Then if you feel comfortable, start turning your gaze, looking to the right as that right arm comes up and across, looking to the left. Now we'll inhale when we go to the right side. Exhale when we go to the left. Breathe into the right. Breathe out to the left. Do one more with that breath pattern. And keep going with the arms and switch your breath. So inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Takes a lot to think about first thing in the morning. Inhale left, exhale right. One more time. Inhale left, exhale right, and come to the center. Bend the knees deeply and pulse the legs down, down. Now check your squat or your plie position. Make sure your knees are tracking right over the feet. Make sure the pelvis isn't either tilted anteriorly or posteriorly. It's nice and neutral here. We're staying kind of in that mid-range of our squat, so it's not too low, just in the mid-range. Now really zip up your abdominals, firm them. Think about your posture, draw your shoulders back and down. So I'm going to start a little pattern of movements. We'll do a few more pulses. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come up out of your legs. Now you can watch the pattern the first time and then join me when you're ready. So this involves the ankles, the hips, the knees. We'll come down into our plie, raise the right heel up, lower it down, and then shift your body weight to the left and lift this leg. So we go down, heel, and lift. Down, heel, and lift. Takes a couple for you to get the movement and to find your balance here. So for now, not working on any arms, we just want to get the lower body work and feel your pelvis really bracing. One more this side. Now to the other side, we go down, heel lifts, and the leg raises. Down, heel lifts, leg raises. Go back to thinking about your pelvis. Keep it nice and neutral. The leg raise doesn't have to be very big. Two more this side. Now let's go back to the other side. Right heel. Lift the right leg. Stay on this right side. And I'm going to show you the arm movements. The hands are down. Touch the shoulders and lift. Down, touch the shoulders and lift. So now when we touch the shoulders, lift the right heel. So you have all the pieces together. When we add weights, this gives us a bicep curl and a shoulder raise. We've got 4 more. Then we'll practice the other side. 3, 2, and 1. Switch to the other side. If you can go right into it with your arms, great. If you need to practice the legs first, do that to get it on the other side. And then put the arms in together. Touch the shoulders, raise the arms. Pick that left heel up, so we're working ankle mobility. Wherever you feel it's right for you to breathe is going to be correct. Just make sure you're breathing through it. Let's do 4 more on this side. Now, knowing this movement, you'll be able to decide what you'd like to do for hand weights. Or if you don't want to add hand weights, that's fine as well. Last time. And rest. Okay, pick up your choice of weights if you want to use them today. I'm going to try my 5s. If I need to go down to 3s, then I'm going to know fairly soon if I've picked up too much. So the weights are in front here. As you squat down, bicep curl, lift the heel, lower, and raise. So it's down, curl, and up, down, curl. Now, I know some of you, Esther, have some shoulder issues. So a couple things you can do, Esther. You can just maybe lift those arms a little. Or for you, maybe just lift your left arm. Yeah, lots of choices. 8, 7, 6. Go back to thinking about the powerhouse. 5, 4, 1 more time. And relax. Roll your shoulders a couple times. Just take a short break for your arms. If you need to make adjustments, go down in your weight. Go up, maybe for the second set. You can decide. All right, whenever you're ready to begin, nice long spine, abdominals engaged. We squat and curl, raise up, down, curl. Now maybe your body is saying, leave out the shoulder raise. So that would look like this. And it's okay. Any piece you need to leave out. So, Judith, if your foot's hurting for you to lift your heel up, leave that piece out or just do a little tiny one to get some activation. We've got 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Short rest. How we doing? Can we do one side and the other? Yes, that's really going to work the brain. So the movements are the same. We just do one on the right side, followed by one on the left side. So find your good posture. Arms are in front. We squat and curl. Lift the right leg. Other side. Lift the left leg. Down. Curl. Oh boy, we have to really think now. Is it better for me to cue each one or not to cue? And let you remember which side you're on. I'll not cue because you might be going at a different speed than I'm going. So I just want you to keep moving, alternating sides. I'm really starting to feel those biceps and shoulders and the powerhouse. Let's get about 2 more on each side. One more each side. Woo. And relax. Nicely done. Okay, I would like you to have your chair within a position where you can use it to hold on to with your right hand for balance. I'm using the same hand weight I just used in my left hand. We're not going to use that right away. I'll let you get used to the movements we're doing, and then you can decide if you want to do the weights. Pilates first position, toes turned out, using my right hand for just a little bit of balance, not relying upon it or leaning into it. So nice firm posture. We've got the développé on the left leg, so it looks like this. We go knee up, straighten, bend, tap down. Up, straighten, and down. So if your hamstrings are really tight and you can't get your leg all the way out to straight, then it should be lower, maybe down in here. And that's okay. So I don't want it to affect your pelvis. And if you're tight in your hamstrings and extend your legs straight and it's too high, your pelvis is going to tuck under, your butt's going to roll back. So try to keep it at a level that works for you. So just keep going with this développé. The arm movement goes curl, up, and down. Curl, up. Now you can leave that overhead press out of the picture if you'd like. And just hold the arm at the shoulder when you extend your leg, and then bring it down. Good. 8 more repetitions. If you can, maybe let go of the chair if you can balance. 7. 6. Sometimes all you need is one little finger touch. 5. I'm starting to really feel this left quadricep. As I extend the leg straight, I'm really activating that muscle. I lost count. I think 3 more. 2. Last one. And rest. Okay, take a second to adjust. I'm going to bring my chair to the other side so I don't have to turn my back to you. First position, right leg, knee, extend, lower down. So this leg could be tighter or more flexibility. So I want you to find the height that works good for this leg. Keep your pelvic area stable by focusing on the powerhouse. We'll do 3 more with just the leg. This is called the développé, which means to open up. 1 more. Option to add the right arm. Curl, press. down. Good job. Without the overhead press, you're just going to linger at the shoulder as you extend your leg and lower down. Let's exhale as we press the weight and extend the leg. Then inhale when we're coming back down to our start position. Eight more this side. Connect with the powerhouse. Really firm everything up. Not letting that pelvis move. 6, 5. I'm feeling my standing hip as well. That left hip is working to stabilize my body. Last 2. And 1. And relax. Great. Set your weight down. Let's move the chair back to the other side. And we're going to be using the muscles of the back body and the core, our powerhouse, to stabilize our body in a forward position. So I have one of my 5-pound weights right on my chair. So I'd like for you to stand facing your chair, about a foot or so behind it. Keep your right leg on the ground. Take your left foot back behind you, tip forward, and place both hands on your chair. Now you can also place your hands up on the back of your chair if you don't want to be as far forward. Square your pelvis. Keep your abdominals really engaged. Point your toe, lift, lift, lift. Now this is a teeny tiny movement. I'm really squeezing my glute muscle. Squeeze, squeeze. My standing knee has a softness to it, so I'm not locking that leg out. So if you have your hands on the back of the chair, it's going to look a little bit more lifted here. Up. Now make this movement so controlled that you don't feel anything happening in your pelvis. Your spine is really neutral. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the leg still. Take your right hand to grab your hand weight. Hang it down. And we pull up and down, nice and slow. So we're working our upper back. This is a stronger muscle group, so you'll be able to do a little bit heavier weight here. Connect with your powerhouse, so nothing's moving in your pelvis. Now, last option if you want to add it. As you're pulling the elbow up, your high knee will bend and straighten. Bend, straighten. So I'm doing a little bit of a hamstring curl, activating the back of my thigh. Just 4 more to finish this set. 4, 3, 2. I'm feeling the supporting hip a lot. 1. And then we set our hand weight back on the chair. Lower the left leg down to meet the right. And do a little bit of a forward fold right here. Your hands can stay on the chair. You can bring them down to the ground. Relax your lower back. Then roll your spine all the way up back to a standing position, restacking every vertebrae back to good posture. Now your left leg will be the one in front. Right leg will go back behind you. Bring both hands to the chair. and square your pelvis. So what happens when we lift a leg is our body wants to rotate out this way so we can balance our body over this leg. But drop your hip down so everything is really even across your back. Tighten your thigh, small lifts. Up, up. So if I make this too big, I start to swing my leg, and then it involves my spine and my pelvis moving. So I want you to make it so tiny that you're really just squeezing that muscle enough to lift the leg maybe 3 or 4 inches. Up, up, up. Check your powerhouse, the position of your head and neck, so we're not dropping our head down. We're not looking forward and up. We have a really neutral head. Ooh, I'm feeling it. We have 12 more. Just 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Good job. 4, 3, 2. Hold it still. Take the weight in your left hand. It starts down low. We pull the elbow up and straighten the arm. This gives us work in our upper back, which helps with good posture. In our biceps, the back of the shoulder. Exhale as you pull that elbow up. Reconnect with the powerhouse. Sometimes our focus on that area goes away as we're learning a movement, and then we can come back in and really zone in on the area. So our last option, as you pull the elbow up, the high knee bends and straightens. Exhale, inhale. If you feel like you need a break, whenever you do, please rest. Come back and join me when it feels better. We have 6 more. 5. 4. Each move is optional. You can leave out whatever you need to. 2 more. And 1. Set your weight on the chair. Lower your back leg down. And take a forward bend. Relax your lower back. Relax your head and neck. Breathe. And then roll your spine up 1 vertebra at a time. Back to stacking good posture, nice and upright. All right, we're done with the chair, so you can move that away from your mat. We need hand weights close to our mat so that we can access them anytime we need. We're going to work on core stabilization with some planks. If you need a little padding for your knees, now's a good time to grab that as well. All right, so come down to hands and knees. A plank in its simplest form is hands and knees, because what I'm looking at is the powerhouse. I'm not looking at my arms, not looking at my legs. I'm looking at the alignment of my head through the alignment of my tailbone. So what is incorrect is a big arch in the back or a big rounding in the back. So no cat, no cow, just completely neutral spine. We're just going to start with sending one leg straight back and then bring it in. Send the other leg straight back and just alternate the legs. Now this feels like a really simple movement for a lot of us. We've done it a lot, but when you really focus on your powerhouse and not moving your pelvis, this becomes a little bit more challenging. Let's exhale when the leg goes back. Inhale when the knee comes back to the floor. Or you can stay with level 1, which is just the legs. Level 2, the opposite arm reaches out. So as the right leg goes back, the left arm reaches. And then we switch. So this makes it a little bit more challenging now for the powerhouse, for our balance, and for stabilizing the pelvis, not letting it move. Sometimes this is called bird dog. I usually call it spinal balance. It's one of the best core strengthening exercises for both the front side abdominals and the back side of the spine. Let's do 4 more on each side. You can also do just your arm. That works fine too. 3 more each side. Two more each. You're looking right down at your mat, not at your knees, not at the top of your mat. Here's your last one. And relax. Now, if we walk our knees back behind us a little bit, and move my blanket back somewhat, we come from tabletop to kneeling plank. So now I'm going to drop my hips down, or if I drew a straight line from my knees through my hips, through my shoulders, and out my head, it's a diagonal line. So holding this position, kneeling plank, from here, inhale, then exhale and push back to down dog, and drop your forehead down to the mat. Get a good stretch for your shoulders. Inhale to kneeling plank. Exhale to child's pose. Now, if this bothers your wrists and shoulders, what I want you to think about is not placing as much body weight on your arms. So I can use my abdominals more, and I can actually even lift up off my fingertips and really use my core and not put a lot of weight in my wrists, arms, and shoulders. You might have to go a little slower, really concentrate, but it can be done. Let's do 1 more. And back to child's pose. So that's level 1 if you'd like to stay with it. Level 2, instead of child's pose, let's lift into downward dog. So we'll tuck our toes under, lift our knees off the mat. This replaces child's pose. Then we come forward to a high plank. Our knees are off the ground. Exhale, push back to down dog. At your own pace. Focusing on the powerhouse. You can go back to level 1. Make any adjustments, modifications you need to. We just have 2 more. And 1 more. From your down dog, if you're there, let your knees drop down. Take a child's pose and relax your shoulders. We'll come to a kneeling side plank. So when you come up, keep your right knee underneath your body. Send your left leg straight back. I'll move my weights out of the way a little bit. So your left leg goes back, and then kick this right ankle out to the side of your mat a little bit. Put your right hand in the middle and turn your body to open up into side plank. Now I want you to focus on where your pelvis is. Your left hip should be stacked over your right. Everything is neutral. If this bothers your wrist, pick up a little bit and just touch your fingertips to the mat. Top arm can also come to your hip. Now we're going to pick that left foot off the floor and lift small, tiny lifts. Small, tiny. Up, 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 up. So we're working on our outer thigh, but our goal is to keep our pelvis from moving at all. Activate the core. 12 more tiny, tiny lifts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set that foot down. Roll back over to both hands and knees. Prepare for the other side. So your left knee stays on the mat, your right leg goes back. We're going to kick our left ankle over to the side. Bring the left hand to the middle and just find your plank. Bring your awareness to your hips so we're not rolling over. This hip is stacked right on top of the lower hip. Hand can be at your hip if that feels better for your shoulders. You can also come up onto your fingertips a little bit. All right, lift this leg up. Tiny, tiny lifts. So I'm really only lifting my leg up and down just maybe 3 or 4 inches. Not very much. And that movement of the leg is not causing any movement in the pelvis here. I kind of like hands at the hip because then you can feel if your pelvis is rocking and moving or if it's nice and solid. 12, 11, 10, 9, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the leg. Lower the arm down. And then we'll come to have a seat on our mat or on our blanket. You can also sit in your chair if you'd like. So your pelvis, sitting bones are down on the floor. So the floor is keeping our pelvis secure. So we're not able to move our pelvis too much because it's rooted into the ground. So I want you to think about keeping that neutral pelvis here. And without tucking under and rolling into a C curve, just lean your body back any amount with a neutral spine and sit yourself back up. Now I just have my hands here because it acts a little bit as a counter weight for my body, but you don't have to. You can place your hands right across your chest. Matter of fact, that's harder. I would call that level 2 for sure. Let's do one more. Are you breathing? If you exhale when you go back, that's the basic Pilates breath. If you inhale when you go back, that's the intermediate breath. All right, so slide your right leg out to straight. When your body is upright, I'd like you to lift your leg upright. So just try this a couple of times. It's hard, yes. One more. Your ankle can be flexed or your foot can be pointed. So now, hands here, we're going to go back with the spine while your leg is down. Then when you come up, lift your leg. Then go back down. Lift your leg. Now, if that's too strenuous, keep it down and just come up without lifting your leg. It's a great option. Works fine. Let's get 4 more. Neutral pelvis, neutral spine. One more. These are hard, hard. Then set that leg down. Sit up tall. Allow this knee that's bent to open out and just take a little brief stretch here for your lower back. When we lift our leg a lot, it fires the hip flexor. The hip flexor is attached back here. So sometimes you're like, why is this hurting my back? So I always like to give you a little bit of a stretch before we go to the other side. Okay, shall we try it? So now the left leg is straight. The right knee is bent. We're just going to sit here and lift your leg up and down just 3 times. And try to keep it straight when you lift it if possible. Ankle can be flexed or foot can be pointed. Okay, hands here, we go back. When you come up, lift the leg. You don't have to lift it high. If it just comes an inch or 2 off the floor, that's okay. You're firing that muscle. If we exhale when we go back, that's the basic Pilates breathing. If we inhale back, it's harder. It's the intermediate breathing. Let's get 4 more. And I'm not even going to talk about the advanced breathing with this exercise. It's just too difficult. That's okay. It's a journey. 1 more. Relax the leg. Sit up tall. Let this knee open out and stretch forward. If you have your yoga strap, you can grab it quick and use that to help you stretch. We won't be here long, but it's a nice tool to use. Then we are coming onto our back. So again, we're focusing on pelvic stability with the powerhouse. Have your weights on either side of your mat so they're easily accessible. And come all the way down on your back with your knees bent. So I want you to put your hands here and notice your pelvis in neutral. So if your bum is tucked under and your low back is pressed down, you're in a posterior tilt. If you're really arching your back, you're in an anterior tilt. So find your neutral. And then we'll bring our knees up to tabletop. Now, if you're having a hard time holding neutral in table, then that's not the correct position for you. You should have your feet down. So I want you to think about that and know, okay, am I a person that needs my feet on the mat to stay in neutral, or can I be in tabletop and stay in neutral? So there's your level 1, feet on the floor. Level 2, feet in tabletop. From either one of those positions, we'll slide the right leg out to straight and bring it in. Left leg out to straight, bring it in. So the other one looks like this, right leg out and left leg out. Now your primary job is to keep your pelvis from moving at all. Just alternating legs. Now sometimes we hold our breath on this. It's really easy to do. So let's put the inhale when the leg goes out and the exhale when it comes in. Now that's the intermediate breath pattern. So if that feels too difficult, then I want you to put the exhale as the legs go out and the inhale when it comes back in. Let's just do 1 more on each side, right leg and left. And then set your feet down if they're up. So we're going to add weights with this as an option. So you have right hand a weight, left hand a weight, and the weights are straight up from the chest. So we're just going to practice a chest press. So the elbows come down and press them back up to the ceiling. Down and up. Just 2 more to make sure this feels okay for your body. Now, as the elbows bend, the right leg goes out and it comes back in as the arms straighten up. Left leg. I'm demonstrating level 1 with my feet on the floor. You can always do level 2 with your knees in tabletop. Right leg. Left leg. Pelvic stability is our primary focus here, so really engage the powerhouse. Make sure you're breathing either the basic or the intermediate pattern. Doesn't matter which way you breathe as long as you're breathing. Now, I'm going to put a little mind-body twist in here for you. So as the right leg goes out, only your left arm does the chest press. So let's try it here. Right leg, left arm. Left leg, right arm. This is a lot like spinal balance. Opposing leg and arm are moving. Now, if you'd like to make this a little challenging yet for your core, instead of bending your elbow down to the floor, your arm's going to go over your head, opposite arm and leg. So it goes over. As the right leg goes out, the left arm reaches above your head. This makes it a lot more challenging. So you can decide if that's for you. 3 more on each side. Recheck the powerhouse, 2 more each side. Ooh, I'm feeling it. 1 more each side, lots of options to work with. And then our feet come down if they're up. The weights come to the floor. We have the Pilates 100. So your arms are floating off the floor. And I want you to do a movement at about this pace with straight arms. And I want you to think about a pillow being under each hand. And each time you push down, you're pushing into the pillow. So you're creating resistance as you push down. Now, next option is to curl your head and shoulders up off the mat and push, 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 push. Imprinting your lower back. Now, your neck can get really tired with this one. So as we go into the further options, I want you to feel free to have your head down. Next option, right knee up. Set it down. Left knee up. Set it down. Both knees up. Now, what do we do for our breathing? We inhale 4 counts and we exhale 4 counts. So it sounds like this. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to bring my head back to the mat. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you want to pick your head and shoulders up off the mat occasionally, you're going to pick them up when you exhale 4 counts. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Head down, 2, 3, 4. Head up, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down, up. Your feet can be on the mat. Down and up. 6 more reps. Now, if you're really pushing against an imaginary resistance, you should be feeling this in your arms. 3 more. 2. 1 more. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, and rest. Feet come down. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Push your knee out a little bit into our figure 4 position. Open your arms out slightly to stabilize your body and drop your right foot to the left side of your body so you're coming into a twist. Hold and breathe. And bring your knees back to the center line. Pull the knees right up into the chest. You can reach your hands behind your left thigh and pull in. You can wrap around the legs. It's wherever you feel comfortable holding this hip stretch. Now, ideally, both your ankles should be flexed whenever you're doing this stretch. It helps to protect your knee from twisting. It puts the rotation into your hip. Then bring your left foot down to the floor. Take your right leg extended up for a hamstring stretch. You can use your yoga strap. I think I have mine close. Under the bottom of your right foot. Your left leg can slide out to straight. Ooh, that feels tight today. Let's take about 5 breaths here. Slow and even breaths. All right, release your strap or your foot. We'll bend that right knee. Take the left ankle, flex it, and cross it over the right thigh, and just press your knee away from you for a moment. Just a tiny bit of stretch in your hip area here. Then open your arms out to brace your body and drop your left foot across to the right side. Twist. And come back to the midline. Bring both of those knees up towards your chest and take your figure 4 stretch. Flexing both ankles. All right, release your right foot down to the mat. Extend your left leg up. Option to use your yoga strap. Option to extend your right leg down to the floor. That does intensify the stretch a little bit. Releases that right hip flexor. 5 slow breaths. And release your strap. Bring yourself up to seated. You can roll over to your side. come up to easy pose. Find that neutral pelvis. Engage your powerhouse. Keep both sitting bones down onto the floor. Take your right arm up and open up the side waist without leaning over onto your left glute. So everything stays stable in your pelvis. You're just opening this side of your spine. And lower it back down. Lift the left arm. I've been noticing that Jitsi has a new format and it cuts my recording off at 56 minutes and I'm almost there right now. So if that happens before I cut off the recording, I just wanted to say thank you everybody for joining me. Let's lower that down. We'll finish with a breath up. Inhale. Exhale, thumbs into the heart. And it is my honor to guide you through this mind-body practice this morning. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. If you're with me live, I have to scoot right to a meeting at the Y, so I won't be able to chat this time, but I'll see you this week in yoga. Thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you next time. Mwah. Take care.